You attract what you judge until you no longer judge what you attract. And once you cultivate that deep love for yourself, you'll begin to attract those soul-aligned relationships that actually stick. Hey beautiful, welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey. This is your weekly sanctuary for waking up from autopilot and transforming the way you approach life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It is my mission to help you heal unprocessed emotions and release stuck energies by alchemizing your struggle cycles into opportunities for deep self-love, awareness, trust, and connection, to return to your innate essence of being, stepping back into your energy of alignment. Because here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light, embodying all parts that make you, you. So if you are ready to get to the root of cultivating real change, get cozy, grab your journal and maybe favorite crystals, and let's discover our power within together. What is up? How are you? Welcome back to another episode of the Naturally Empowered Living podcast. I am super stoked today because we have a submission. I'm so excited to have another submission episode. It's been a while and it dawned on me that I haven't shared about the submission feature for a while. And here we go. I shared about it, I think, last week, and we already have a new submission. So please, please, please remember that there's always a spot. The form is in the description of this show, and it's going to be in the show notes of this specific episode, that you could always write in what you're struggling with. You know, if you have a question, if you need help navigating something, if you have a desired, point within your life, if you have a desire and you're like, how do I, get here? Write it in. I would love to create an episode formulated for you. So grab that link in the show notes. It's like a quick Google form and just share what your heart desires. So this beautiful listener wrote in, and what we're going to be dissecting today within this podcast episode is all about how your self-awakening journey feels lonely. Oh my gosh, does this ever resonate? So this listener wrote in, I've been on a journey of deep healing and self-discovery, and while I feel like I'm growing, it's also feeling incredibly lonely. I feel like I've lost friendships, other relationships have shifted, and sometimes I wonder if I'm doing something wrong. How do I stay committed to this path when it feels like I'm losing people along the way? And how do I know if these changes are really for my highest good? This is a great question. This is such a great question, and it's worth noting. I want to first acknowledge the emotional difficulties and navigations of self-awakening. I mean, of a spiritual awakening, self-awakening, whatever you want to call it. Like the confusion, feeling like you're in the lowest of the lows, but somehow it's still bringing curiosity and a willingness to continue to open this can of worms, right? But then the changes are happening and you feel like you're getting face down in the mud, or you're getting hit over and over and over, and taking one step forward and two steps back. At least this is what it was like for me. And when I finally allowed that unfolding, and the surrender, and my destiny is going to unfold one way or the other. So let's lean in here. That's when it started to make sense. And I'm still connecting the dots. I'm still don't know the answers. But it's that trust, right? It's that trusting piece, that surrender piece. And also I could speak on with working with others, especially through root cause therapy sessions. It's helped kind of, by that third, fourth session, I kind of people they come in differently, for a session, session 1 to session 4, completely different, right? And I see that it's helping bridging these two worlds, these worlds are colliding. You have this inner knowing that everything is going to be okay. Even if you're confused and don't have the answers and wonder how things are going to be okay because it feels like shit is hitting the fan left and right. But it's this inner knowing. Okay. Let's jump in because I really want to dive into a couple of different aspects. I want to help guide you towards, an understanding, right? An understanding first of soul contracts. And even if you don't believe in soul contracts, I want to encourage you to just take what resonates from what I'm saying and help it make sense within your life or what you do believe in, okay? And also I want to talk a little bit about discernment and also about deep self-love. So why does self-awakening, why does that sometimes feel lonely? And how and why to trust the course? So I'm going to start with talking about soul contracts here. And what I mean by this, I don't even need to explain what a soul contract is because I want you to take what resonates. And I'm going to tell you this. You do not meet anything or anyone by chance. Nothing. Nothing in your life happens by chance. Okay? Everything is divinely orchestrated. So a contract is created, let's say. So it's an agreement between two beings. They interact with one another. They're passing on this energetic, their energetic files to themselves, to these beings that they both need for this journey ahead. They created the soul contract. On the other side, if this is what you believe in, I'm just trying to paint this picture for you. You create the soul contract with these other souls on the other side. When you come to this human experience, you meet each other, you have this energetic exchange. These files are passed, and this is for your journey ahead. And working out whatever needs to be worked out for you to bring out your highest good, your highest potential in the shortest amount of time. Now, I know that I talked about this on previous episodes about, everyone that you meet is either here to teach you something or you are here to be the teacher for them. This is the same concept spoken in a different way. We're just going to kind of go a little deeper into this topic, okay? So every interaction is either resolving or fulfilling the soul contract. And if there's anything that you haven't possibly learned or resolved within this contract, it's going to repeat and repeat and repeat. And I've also know that I've talked about this from like a subconscious standpoint, that repeating patterns and repeating cycles will continue to happen in your life due to not learning the lesson, or possibly due to stuck energy or stuck trauma, unresolved, compounded trauma within your body. So from a soul contract standpoint, this is almost like that relational piece, that relationship piece that parallels the subconscious patterns that I talk about often. Okay, same concept. And this concept, I saw the submission and I instantly went to this teaching, this seminar from Matt Kahn. He's a spiritual teacher, and everything that I'm going to share is from him. And I deeply resonated with this seminar, and I just want obviously to give him credit. But this is also what I believe in, what I believe. And it just complements so much of what we really dive into on the show with subconscious patterns. I know I just said that, but just really bringing it in from another way of explaining it, focusing in on relationships. So a contract is either motivating you into an action step that is for the embodiment of your highest wisdom, meaning like, if you allow your highest wisdom to come through to be the resolution to this circumstance at hand, to allow this to help you cultivate the choices that you have not made in the past, to hone in like on your highest vibration, your energy of alignment, to bring your wholeness potential into form. Okay. That's one piece of the contract. Like, will you trust your inner wisdom? Or you are put into situations that possibly seem unfair, unjust, just in order for you to become aware of the judgments that you have. And by learning to embrace the one who judges, meaning you. Okay, so I want to stay here for a minute. This level of judgment, okay, this level of judgment that you have, it will unravel, okay? You will always have judgments. And once you accept that at that moment that you have a judgment, once you accept it and embrace that judging piece of you, the resolution, quote unquote, will help you pass that contract. You will move forward more evolved than the moment before. You will come into more harmony with the feelings and circumstances that you kept judging, as if life isn't divinely orchestrated in the first place, right? Being, nothing happens without chance. Everything happens for a reason. You have a destined path. So this circumstance that you have that you're judging right now, it's happening for a reason, right? So a judgment, just what a judgment is, right? I'm talking like judgments casted towards someone else or possibly even yourself. Like that instance where you have an opinion over and you cast a judgment towards. Again, and you're living as if everything that is happening for you is not divinely orchestrated. So I'm not saying to stop the judging. We're going to judge. We all have these moments. You will always be put into situations where you want it or not, right? You will always be put into these situations to teach you the lessons, just so the piece of you who judges can have a voice and have love as equal to the one who is in their energy of alignment. So this isn't about not feeling the hard feelings. It's about accepting the judgments that you have about your own feelings and behaviors towards your own judgments. And when you no longer have a judgment towards your behavior or feeling of the judgment as good or bad, when there is no longer a judgment cast on you by you, you'll be surprised to see that this behavior or repeating cycle does not arise for you anymore or within you anymore. One reason that we keep having these repeating behaviors or circumstances is because we judge it, right? We judge it. We're not learning the lesson from it. So this contract repeats until we fulfill it. Now, when we accept that everything is happening for us, has already been laid out for us, been divinely orchestrated, then the question may become, what am I here to learn then from this situation, from this encounter? What am I here to learn from this recurring pattern? How is it helping me evolve my consciousness? How can I honor this relationship that I so deeply thought that I needed as a divine orchestration, but now they're gone, right? How to accept all of these feelings, the good, the bad, the happy, the sad, the anger, knowing that it's not wrong for you to feel this way. So now I want to transition it into discernment. Matt Kahn says, an enlightened being can always love from afar. Discernment is not the same as judgment. This is not to give up hope or to not have expectations. We also need to love the part of ourselves who has the expectations, right? Don't think that this loved one or this friend that you've had for decades who walks all over you and who is passive aggressive and never listens to you and who does not make you feel good inside. Don't think that you cannot hold expectations towards this person. This is where discernment comes in. Because don't we all want to reach a state of inner peace where if someone does us wrong, we aren't affected by the actions because we have contentment and the peace because their actions are not about us. It's about their journey. And don't we all want to reach a space where we don't blame people for their behavior because it does not cloud our own discernment? Where we are fulfilled by the love that we give and have for ourselves. So this is where the discernment piece and where an enlightened being can love from afar. There's a difference between boundaries and disrespect. So if you've ever noticed, and of course this submission they have, like if you've ever noticed that friends or people leave your life when you have transcended or grown or ascended, your level, risen your level of consciousness, an ego may say, what did I do wrong? What do I have to do so we can be good for each other? Or what kind of hazmat suit do I have to wear around this person to keep them around because they've been around for so long? Like egos negotiate. An awakened soul is willing to be without if something is not good for its evolution. Like the ego has FOMO, and it's going to try to turn things upside down to just try to make it work, right? And the reason we're in such negotiation to try to make things work is because we're afraid to be alone. Or we think that we're doing something wrong, right? So I'm not saying like you haven't grown. This is incredible. Like I don't want to say this is incredible because it's a hard position to be in. I totally understand. It's reaching that level of acceptance and inner knowing that maybe turn things around and look at the lessons. Look at your past relationships. Look at the relationships that have shifted or the friendships that have fizzled. Look for those lessons or look for those teaching moments that you've given to them. Okay, and then bring in that discernment of, okay, was this a soul contract resolved? Or if this is something like you truly deep down, this person is good for your soul, have a conversation, have a civil conversation. This isn't so much of an enlightened soul interaction conversation that I'm having with you that you can't have a civil conversation with someone. Maybe they're going through something too, right? So reeling it back in a little bit. What I just said with, the FOMO of the ego, they're going to try to turn things down to make it work because we're afraid to be alone. When we're alone, we meet a soulmate we've been longing for, which is the ecstasy of your own love. Oh, also said by Matt Kahn. And it's truly It brought me to tears the first time I said it. When we are alone, we meet the soulmate we've been longing for, which is the ecstasy of our own love. Now, I really want to drive home here. I'm not saying that it's easy to go through what you're experiencing, the loneliness, the wondering why. I'm simply inviting you to give yourself space. What I just said with, maybe reflecting on the possible lessons of these said relationships that you feel have gone or that have shifted. And also, I invite you to give yourself space to be with yourself. Allow this episode to unfold within your own life. Is there possibly a subconscious belief that I don't know how to be validated or loved unless someone else is reflecting it back to me? Being with yourself is how you become yourself. And even if you don't know how to love yourself or be with yourself, acknowledging that gap or that unknowing is the first step. It will signal to your soul, it is enough in these moments. You are acknowledging this. And also, finding that love for yourself is also telling yourself that other people don't have control over my unraveling, over my awakening, over my evolution of being in my energy of alignment. I am my own soulmate. I am my own twin flame, right? Like twin flames are where we work out our greatest insecurities. It's like when people bring out the most atrocious behavior, or we find ourselves motivated to act more atrociously than we ever want to admit because we're unraveling the judgments. We're allowing the anger, the resentments, all the quote unquote nasty or bad things about ourselves that we've shoved under the rug for so long. We're finally letting them be. And that actually helps unravel your attachment to your identity, which inspires the awakening of the consciousness. How is that for an aha moment? I heard that and I was like, whoa. I know that we've talked about welcoming and honoring all parts of ourselves, right? And this is just bringing it from a whole different perspective here. Helping you unravel your attachment to your identity, which inspires the awakening of consciousness. So a little tangent here, and it's like a little just disclaimer, okay? This does not ever mean sticking it out in abuse or in some sort of abusive relationship because it's going to unravel my awakening of consciousness. No. Once there's abuse, physical, mental, emotional, any sort of abuse happens, soul contract, null, void. That is your soul contract in itself being fulfilled because you love yourself enough to walk away and know the discernment, not the judgment of how you deserve to be treated. Okay? So one more thing about judgments, now kind of wrapping it back into deep self-love. To judge is to withhold the love from yourself. Okay. Now we're not asking to abolish the judging. Again, we're not telling the judgment to be shoved under the rug. We are becoming aware that the one who is judging is asking for more love. And that one is you. Okay. That piece of you is asking for more love. And every outside scenario, every distraction, every false belief that you are focusing all of your attention on versus bringing it back inside. Okay. Accepting that judgment, listening to that judgment, knowing that nothing is outside of your grasp and finding the love and peace that is cultivated from within you. You will stop trying to grasp and find the love and peace from outside of you, aka the distractions, the limiting beliefs, those scenarios. And you will learn that cultivating the love is within you. It's how you support yourself that will make your experiences and your life more enjoyable and within your energy of alignment. Making loving yourself a very serious point of focus. We're not doing it to make things go away, okay? We're loving ourselves so life starts to make sense. You attract what you judge until you no longer judge what you attract. And once you cultivate that deep love for yourself, you'll begin to attract those soul-aligned relationships that actually stick. So I encourage you to kind of sum all this up here, right? Is to trust that people will come into your life as they are meant to and go as they are meant to and stay as they are meant to. Okay? There's a difference between judgment and discernment. And when you cast judgment, don't judge yourself. Okay? Listen to that judgment, find that lesson. And that discernment. Enlightened beings can love from afar. Have the discernment from your ego and your awakened self. Embrace your awakening, sister. It does not make it easy, but sometimes hearing that you aren't alone helps your process forward, because you are there. You are unraveling and waking up and just being broken wide open. Now really lean into these messages, lean into these lessons, and trust. Trust your inner wisdom. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for submitting this form. I hope it resonated with you. Please send me an email, hello@naturallympoweredliving. Let me know how you're going on. I'd love to, schedule a clarity call with you to talk one-on-one if that's something that resonates with you also. And to everyone else, I hope that you could have gotten a little bit of some sort of something. I totally lost my train of thought. But I hope that this resonated with you. Take out what does and leave what doesn't, okay? It's what you need in these moments, in these present time. And if there is something that you are struggling with, that you want to hear on the show, that you want, me to talk through, maybe from a completely different perspective. This is something I've never really talked about in this light before, and I just felt really called to talk about it in this way today. So for this dear submission for this person that submitted this write-in, I really hope that resonated with you, because this was out. I don't know. This was from a specific webinar that I recently listened to, and I was like, this is it. This is what I'm meant to be sharing right now. So this was a complete channeled episode from that webinar, and I was just called to share in this way. So I hope that resonates. And if you are looking for advice on a topic, want to hear something specific on this show, grab the form in the show notes, and I would love to hear from you. Write in, and I will speak on it soon. Until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. I'm sending my love and light.
Did you find this episode freeing or empowering? Please read my review. Tickle, boop.
Thank you for spending the sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. If this episode brought you closer to stepping into your energy of alignment, I'd love for you to leave a written review and share how this show has supported your journey. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps others find the space of transformation. And sharing it with someone who might need it spreads the ripple of healing even further. Be sure to check the show notes for ways to connect with me and explore personalized healing sessions and mentorships to deepen your self-awakening journey. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.